Announcement. Save the date. You're formally invited to CROKEYZ launch event for Crimson Vow. We're gonna try and get like a lot of players into it. So it's up to 1,024 players. If you want to play, you don't need to have a massive time commitment because it's just single elimination. Oi, lads. Alright, let's build a deck, guys. Build a Magic the Gathering Crimson Vow deck. Okay, what cards do we have? What magic cards are in the new magic set? Let's find out. Cultivator Colossus, huh? Is that a banger? Not really. It's an extraordinary amount of mana to cast it into. Alright, are there any like 2-color decks that can top off with my boy Sorino? Black, red. Black, green. Black, blue. All sounds kind of shitty. Black is just a pretty trash colour, isn't it? Yes, it goes well with Scourge though, huh? Scourge deck? Okay, so what are the decent cards that make you pay life? I'm not sure how much I believe in the Scourge, so it's going to get a question mark for now. Okay, so there's not too many cards in standard at the moment that make you pay life, so you're going to need like a significant amount. Cemetery Gatekeeper is, I mean, that's obviously a banger of a card for our Rakdos Scourge pile. By the way, chat, this card might be busted. We're going to make a Dollhouse of Horrors deck at some point too. Like, read this shit, man. It is actually broken. Exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a token, it's a copy of the exile card except as a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types, and as this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control, it gains haste until the end of turn, activate only as a sorcery. So you just get to like reanimate once a turn for 1 mana. And you get a little bit of upside on top of that too. Kind of fucked. IMO. Graph Reaver, 2 mana, 3/3. Deal 1 damage to you at the beginning of your upkeep. Okay, so chat. These numbers of cards are not the numbers of cards that are going to be in the deck. These are just, if there's a 4, that means the card definitely goes in the deck. If there's a 1, it's a maybe. I just want to see what cards we have to play with here. At the beginning of your end step, create a token. Wowzers. Battle Stinger. When you exploit a creature, draw 2, lose 2. Kind of too hard to use that, innit? It's too hard, man. Too hard. Excuse me, where's the rest of the way to pay life? Voltaic Visionary. The Voltaic Visionary, I think, is very good. But I'm very concerned about using this card with cards in my deck that cost more than 3. And I'm not playing this deck without Sorin. You draw 2, lose 2, create a blood token. Can that please cost 2 and not 3? Reckless Impulse, man. That is a 2, like, honestly, this is the one card in the set that I can't evaluate. Maybe it's just absolutely insane, but also maybe it's completely trash. A light up that always costs 2. So, your light up that sometimes costs 1 and sometimes costs 3 is obviously a busted card. We'll see about the one that always costs 2 though. Okay, so these are your cards from the new sets. Or from the new set. Setup. So you need removal, card draw, and cards that cost 1. But there's your problem, huh? Rakdos cannot draw any cards. Although maybe Rakdos can draw cards, because maybe Rakdos has Reckless Impulse now, and maybe it's the nuts. Maybe. Again, it's another card that you're a little bit concerned about having 4 mana Sorin in your deck. I'm not really sure how you play this deck without Sorin. So that's a bit of a, you know, bit of friction going on here. Is there no Sign in Blood type card? There's a few Sign in Blood type cards, but they all cost 3 though, huh? What are, like, what are the payoffs for actually playing a lot of vampires? Is there any? This deck is too fair. What do you mean the deck is too fair? The best deck in the format is just a deck that plays a creature on 1, 2, and 3.
Hey ho chat and streamer.
What are you on about? We're not playing fucking Legacy, man. Fair decks have been the best deck in Standard for like 3 years. Vamps have a land. Yeah, but the 4 mana card, like Edgar is really good, but it's a white-black, man. I don't understand why it's white-black. It's horrible colours. And you can't use the land to cast your removal or your impulses or your Sorins or your Scourges. Like, because a lot of these creatures are like are vamps, huh? I'm pretty sure you could fill the deck with red, black vampires and 4 Scourge, but I mean, what's the point, right? Like, what do you even get for playing vampires instead of just playing the best red and black cards? You can use Pyre with a lot of vamps. Well, that's the Pyres don't really have good end to the battle. The vamps don't really have good end to the battlefield, so there's not really any point to doing it. It's good with clerics because, well, you get good on death triggers and good into the battlefield triggers. Like what creatures? Yeah, I don't think you play vamps, right? There's no way there's a vamp payoff that's better than just playing like Reckless Stormseeker to give your Scourge haste, huh? And trample sometimes. I find that extremely unlikely. So what are the best just red and black creatures? Apart from Stormseeker, obviously. Because this has to be a 4 of. This card's absolutely nuts, mate. Absolutely freaking nuts. Ragavan? Did Ragavan in Historic when? The Vamp 1-drop? I guess you do have, you've got 8 2/1 1-drops, right? In black red. Do you want to play those though? You've got the tapped 1-drop and then you've got the Vamp one that can draw. I mean, they help, like, we've got a lot of ways to pay life, and I guess those 1-drops are quite important for getting damage into the opponent so that you can actually play your Scourge, because you still have to attack opponent too, right? Maybe you just play both of them. I can't remember what the black one's called though. I can't remember what the red one's called either. What are they called, chat? Falcon Wrath, yeah. Falcon Wrath. Is it Falcon Wrath Warrior or something? Pit Fighter. That sounds right. I think these 1-drops are like important, right? For getting the first bit of damage into opponent. Having 8 2/1 1-drops is no joke. What are the best 2 mana creatures? What are the best creatures in red black? Florian? Oh, that is a bannable offense. Valky. Valky, man. Isn't Valky kind of terrible unless you're also playing it as Tybalt sometimes? And we're playing like super aggro here, right? With Light Up the Stage and Sorin as our essentially only 4-drop. But I guess 1 Valky can't be too bad. Need more removal too, and like more card draw, man. This is... I don't know, guys. These decks are just so big, aren't they? Like, this type of deck, I don't know, guys. This type of deck is it's just hipster mono white, you know? Like, it's just someone that wants to play a mono white but just refuses to play it. Eye of Vecna for draw. That's a little bit too intense on the life total, I think. Every other aggro deck's just bad mono white. Pretty much, man, yeah. Pretty much.
Good morning, Mr. Streamer.
I'm not a massive tribal guy. I quite liked rogues. Like, rogues were fun, but it didn't really play out like a normal tribal deck, though, to be fair. It was kind of different, right? I mean, rogues and merfolk are pretty different decks. Gobos are also an interesting tribal deck. I like goblins. I'm just not a fan of like Gruul type decks, man. I'm not a fan of top deck a card and cast it. I want to play goblins. I want to play Jund Food. I want to play a deck where I do 100 things, because the more things I do, the more chance I have of minimizing the sabotage from wizards trying to make me lose through various ways, and maximize leveraging my ability as a magic player to achieve victory. That's why Gruul bad, Goblins good. Sounds like magic isn't for you? It sounds like you're just a fucking idiot, because I've given you plenty of examples, even in the last 30 seconds, that would make magic for me. Ecuador! Ecuador!